Central Ohio. And here at Nationwide Arena, the Bluejackets and the Oilers. Mason making only his second home start in the last 6 home. Bluejackets and the Oilers. Mason making only his second home start in the last 6 home games. His last start here was a victory back in February over the San Jose Sharks. At the opposite end, Devin Dubnyk outstanding in his team's first victory here over the Blue Jackets. Back on the 10th of February, he stopped 39 of 40 shots. Our officials this evening, the referees, Mark Jeanette, Gord Dwyer. The linesmen tonight, John Brent and Steve Miller. Oilers wearing their road whites. They continue a lengthy road trip. They're on to Detroit tomorrow. Jackets wearing their home overtime loss. Except for the opening faceoff, it will be Gagne and Johansson. Tonight's telecast presented in high definition. Faceoff tomorrow. The Oilers. Jackets wearing their home blues. We're all except for the opening faceoff, it will be Gagne and Johansson. Tonight's telecast presented in high definition by Time Warner Cable, and we are underway. First round series left there for Gagne. Along the wall, winning the battle there was Johansson knocking down Gagne. The Oilers sweep it out of the zone. Better Tootin, who begins tonight's game, paired with Goluboff. It's moved up the left wing. It gets by Gagne. And Petrie will pick it up for Edmonton. Petrie looks at Pay-Harvey, who scored what proved to be the game-winning goal in the first meeting here. Back in February, it was a shorthanded goal. Oilers added an empty netter, outshooting the Blue Jackets. Rather, the Blue Jackets outshooting the Oilers 40-14. Dubnyk simply outstanding. And 45 seconds in, we'll get a look at tonight's Toyota Keys, presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Well, tonight the Jackets have to have a little offensive finish. They got to find ways to score. Dubnyk, again, he needs a little traffic and a human wall in front of him. Layer the D. Repeat the checking success that they had the other night. And the Oilers' speed, that has to be contained. And then forecheck. That means putting the puck behind, get the legs moving. They've done a nice job of that in all 3 zones and able to go after that puck and make something happen.
Now there's Artem Anisimov, the hero, riding a 2-game goal-scoring streak with that overtime game winner. Anisimov injured in the game, took a shot off the back of the knee. It was thought by Coach Todd Richards that he was through for the night, but he came back and was the hero in overtime. Bouncing puck along the wall, and there is Anisimov battling. Officials say, move your feet, move the puck. Jack Johnson out for his first shift. His return after missing 4 games. A welcome return, a welcome addition. Jackets failed to clear the zone. They'll try again here as Anisimov is turned around. Nugent Hopkins, Hemsky drilled along the wall, and the Jackets walk it out, and it's Anisimov leading the rush. Heels it on the wing. Jack Johnson joins the rush and fires it wide of the net. Atkinson deals it off into the corner. There is Matt Calvert. Calvert along the wall, trying to protect that puck. Justin Schultz, Nick Schultz, and it's on to the right wing. Here comes Hemsky. Hemsky's pass in front, and Hall is denied.
Well, Taylor Hall coming in and basically coming back from some injuries that they didn't think he was going to be in the lineup this morning. They talked. Everly looked like he was going to be, but this was one player that surprised everybody. But after the morning skate, he considered himself healthy. Ralph Kruger puts him into the lineup, and a pretty good scoring opportunity off the rush.
Belanger set for the draw, and he loses it to Lechestu, who has been awfully stinging in the faceoff circle. Lechestu tied for the club lead. Picked up by Belanger along the far wall. Oilers head north with a right wing feed. Neil Yakupov hits it across to Ryan Whitney, who dumps in, turns it over, but he Prospel onto a corner. Jackets backhanded. Prospel with goals in each of the last 2 games, not unlike Anisimov. Dorsett trying to trap it with a skate. Throws it up high, a point unable to play, chipped off the wall. That's Jones hustling into the zone, but the Jackets are quick to clear it. Away goes Dorsett. He's got Prospel with him. Fires a shot that's deflected. No further play. Well, how about Ralph Kruger's comments, Bill, after the last meeting here on the 10th of February? His comment, flat out, we need to get on the plane here in a hurry because we've stole one tonight. Jackets outshooting the Oilers 40-14. Dubnyk simply outstanding.
Boy, things weren't any better when they were in Minnesota. Jeff, and we're not happy with this hockey team. We have to play with a little bit more urgency. We got to find a little bit more inside that tank. We're a little hungry, especially when you have the puck. Make something happen with it.
Oilers have dropped 2 in a row.
Happen with it.
Oilers have dropped 2 in a row.
The series at 1 minute apiece.
And there is
the Stanley Cup first round series.
Swept behind the net, Golubov. Looking for Jared Bull. Bull with a backhand pass. First shift for Mike Brown. We've got Ryan Smith, who last played center the first time in between these two teams. Brown on the turnover, and the stop off the blocker of Mason. Fourth line matched up against fourth line here. And it's McKenzie out of the zone. Ryan Smith finishes a check as it's dumped in. Petrie against Broussard. Loose puck picked up by Ladislav Smid. Smid hands to Ben Eager at center. Eager with a long shot. Mason, the pad save. And here's Dalton Prout. Wheeling to Johansson. Johansson setting a season high. 19 minutes and 7 seconds on Sunday against Colorado. They also won 12 of 18 faceoffs and much improved in that department. But again, Coach Richards said this morning they're looking for consistency in Johansson's game. Left wing, there's Dubnyk down, and he'll cover up.
Well, enter to win the Nationwide VIP sweepstakes at bluejackets.com/nationwide VIP. You and a friend can win the ultimate Blue Jacket sweepstakes, including VIP tickets, a Fox Sports Ohio Blue Line gift card, and backstage access, including a ride on the Nationwide Zamboni, all courtesy of Nationwide Insurance.
Faceoff comes to the right of Dubnyk. And from the draw, this is Prout trying to float one in. The shot is blocked by Taylor Hall. Matt Calvert cycles out of the corner. Here's an attempted shot there by Atkinson, turned aside. Jackets had it knocked away. Here comes Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins impressed. Sees a great defensive play there from Dalton Prout, who continues. Hopkins sees away. Here comes Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins sees a great defensive play there from Dalton Prout, who continues to impress.
Jordan Eberle strikes first for the Edmonton Oilers in Game 3.
Since his recall, how about that defensive play?
Well, he's paired up tonight with Jack Johnson, and the one thing with the Jackets already, we haven't played 5 minutes, a couple of turnovers, one inside the line. Look at the speed of Nugent Hopkins, and look at the second effort by Dalton Prout. You hate to get yourself into that situation, but it is what it was. And the nice Jackets already, we haven't played 5 minutes, a couple of turnovers, one inside the line. Look at the speed of Nugent Hopkins, and look at the second effort by Dalton Prout. You hate to get yourself into that situation, but it is what it was. And a nice play by 47.
Smid drives it deep. Tim Erickson knocking it out of the air. Jones deals it on the right wing, comes back to Petrie at the point, floats one in, a shot and a goal. Deals it on the right wing, comes back to Petrie at the point, floats one in, a shot and a goal. Petrie from
another goal. Jeff Petrie, 10 different goal scores for the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs, and it's 2-0.
Beats Mason, and it's 1-0
down in front of the net. And that's where your goaltender has to try and find a way to be able to see that puck. And as Petrie lets it go, you can see the screen in front by Ryan Jones. We'll have to see if it does change direction. This will be a better view of it. You watch Mason get to the top of the circle.
Another.
This will be a better view of
challenge.
it. You watch Mason get to the top of the circle. It does change direction. You can see the screen in front by Ryan Jones. We'll have to see if it does change direction. This will be a better view of it.
Good
goal. Watch Mason get to the top of the circle.
YouTube video player group.
And it did appear to
where there's a goaltender who's falling off.
No item in view YouTube video player group.
Challenge. There was no goaltender appearance.
YouTube video player group. No up.
2 goals.
Either a
span.
that side. Jones at
17 seconds.
beats Mason to make it a 1.
for the Edmonton Oilers.
So now
And they make it
the
2-0.
first goal in 16 of their 23 games.
First
The
playoff
first
goal.
period has not been kind to the Jackets, and they have given up the first goal and have had to fight from behind
Second
now.
goal.
Erickson, Eberle, Nick Schultz, send it towards the net, off of Erickson, Eberle, hands it to Payarvi, good hustle there by a Coin to deal it on the wing, Jackets control in their own zone. Tim Erickson retreats behind the net, pressure coming from Payarvi on the forecheck. Coin chips it off the board, looking for the shot at center, moved ahead by Gagne, Jackets play it nonetheless, and it's McKenzie who dumps it deep. Schultz. Hammered there by McKenzie. The outlet pass. And it's Payarvi handing ahead there for Gagne. And Gagne deals to the right wing. Payarvi in the slot. Comes back to the point. Potter, who's been given an opportunity to play tonight with Peckham coming up ill earlier on in the day. Potter just returning from a concussion. And back in the lineup. He was on IR earlier today. Cycling out? No, Jackets unable to do so. Here's Potter. Petrie being given credit for the goal, his third of the season. Neutral zone play. Umberger lost it. Played by Ryan Whitney. Neutral zone play. Umberger lost it. Played by Ryan Whitney. Long lead pass there for Taylor Hall. On the fly, it's gloved and held by Mason. 14:08 left.
Well, before the Jackets hit the ice, get ready to carry the flag on Blue Jackets Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Blue Jackets Live is brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Well, this is where the Jackets have to respond. Shot from the point. Again, from the angle that we had a chance to see, it looked like it might have been deflected. Petrie does get credit for that goal. But that's 1-2 that you don't want to be in a position, even if it is a deflection, to be able to at least get a piece of it.
And there is Petrie, the son of former Major League pitcher of the Detroit Tigers.
Jeff Petrie.
Hockey's his game.
Different goal scorer.
And he has become a fixture on that Oilers
Stanley
line.
Cup.
Pretty good athlete.
First round series.
Petrie, three-year Letterman, and All-American at Michigan State. Play ball!
Taylor Hall deals back to Petrie, on to Smead. Smead attempting a shot that is blocked by the Jackets' Atkinson. Hemsky lets it go now, retrieves the puck along the wall, thrown back here to Petrie, unable to keep it in. Jackets pressure, and here's Smead. Smead bounces one into the corner. Trout hands it to Jack Johnson. Matt Calvert for Trout. Head up. Trout to center. Drills it in on the hard around, unable to play it for the Oilers, and it gets by Jack Johnson and sails deep into Jackets territory. 6.5 minutes plus gone. Here are the opening period. Join us late. Petrie from Belanger and Jones at 4:23. Gone. Here are the opening period. Join us late. Petrie from Belanger and Jones at 4:23. Shot from the point, eluding Mason. And the Oilers have the 1-0 lead. Yakupov loves it, sends it to the ice. Jones stripped of the puck, and away goes Vinny Prospel. Prospel 3 points from 750 in his NHL career. Jones all over Leicester, who makes the play to Dorsett behind the net. Derek Dorsett chased by Justin Schultz. Schultz edges it ahead, and it's Yakupov, right wing at center. Looks for Belanger. Jackets break that up. Across the line, Vinny Prospel. He's got Dorsett with him. Fires it. It's a hockey night. Hockey's his game. And he pressures. A backhand pass. Third.
1 year together.
The first. 1-0 Edmonton. The Oilers take the lead on the Petrie goal.
Game 3.
1-0 Edmonton.
2-0 lead.
left. Here are the first.
Mason, Sam Gagne, a few things in common. Both of them played for the London Knights. In fact, they 1 year together had a chance to play. But look, you go back to Oakville. Is it a hockey hotbed? Well, think of this. Mason, Gagne, Cody Golubov, another one. John Tavares. Around that neighborhood, they played a lot of hockey growing up. Not only in the summer, ball hockey, you name it. But guys that know each other pretty well are on the ice tonight.
Well, Oakville. Growing up was a long distance from the city of Toronto, and now it's a suburb of Toronto. Golden Horseshoe, Southern Ontario. Quite a few hockey players that come out of that region. Eager up on the left wing is chopped away from his stick. Off on the far side. Stepping up and dumped to the corner. Sam Gagne, the son of former NHLer Dave Gagne, as Bull sends it in, and he scores! Gagne, the son of former NHLer Dave Gagne, as Bull sends it in, and he scores!
And he scores!
That one deflected in front of him. McKenzie got a stick on it. But the
Ryan Johansson
gets the Jackets even, and Jared Ball, who you recall not too long ago scored for the White Wing Boys, does it again. He sends it from that right wing, and I believe McKenzie gets a stick back.
Well, they do a nice job again. This fourth line with now the addition of Broussard on this line. Turnover inside the line. But look at the pass by Eriksson that really makes it all happen. Jared Ball is wide open, and then if you're going to score goals, go to the blue and the crease with your stick on the ice, and that's exactly what McKenzie does. To beat Dubnyk, he's got somebody wrapped all over him, and I believe it's Whitney, but it's McKenzie being able to fight it out and tie it at 1.
Jackets get the all-important equalizer. And again, Jackets get the all-important equalizer.
are winning
And
one.
again, goal illustrating,
Goal
shoot the puck,
illustrating.
send it to the
Shoot
net.
the puck,
Good
send
things
it to the
happen.
net.
But the Jackets have tied
Then
it up.
trailed
McKenzie
by
very
two,
deliberately
by one.
kept his stick on the ice and was able to send it behind Dubnyk. A 1-1 tie here. Shots
A
favor the
2-1
Oilers 5-3.
Oilers
Jackets
lead.
Umberger fails to clear. A turnover in the slot. A shot by Smead, held by Mason.
Mason. In a way,
In the slot. A shot by Jackets Umberger fails to clear. A turnover in the slot. A shot by Smead,
And
held
it's a goal. 3-1 for the Oilers.
by Mason.
it's 3 games. Been doing a good job.
What a goal. Vladislav Sneed gets his third career playoff goal.
Very few turns.
By Mason.
To number 12 and 1.
Jackets have been doing a good puck management has to be better in front of Mason. Going back to number 1 tonight, the key in this hockey game for this team was to find a way to beat Dubnyk. Derek McKenzie did that. Bull had the head up, had a chance to look. He had a little bit of help down in front of that net. McKenzie's able to put it away.
Tim Eriksson continues his improved play.
Oilers lead. All
Coaching staff showing more
and
and more
Hopkins.
confidence in the youngster.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
And Eriksson looking
Second
more and more
assist.
at home on the Columbus blue line. Here's Anisimov, the right wing feed for Atkinson. Swept off his stick. Atkinson will try again. Looks to the left wing for Anisimov. Nugent Hopkins with the steal. Out of the right wing. Hemsky fans on the attempted pass. Atkinson tries to dance away from him. Hemsky gets it right back. Alesh Hemsky drops it back for Taylor Hall. Out of the zone. It's ripped back in by Whitney. Oilers will change up. Play continues, and we're closing in on the midway point of period number 1.
Right now, the Edmonton Oilers 6 shots on goal. 14 total the last time in this building. Not want to allow this team to three-wheel.
Whitney
The last time.
deals it on that left wing for Jones.
Against the Oilers.
Mason directing traffic. Leave it there for Eriksson. Away from
March
Yakupov.
5th.
Laid in the corner by Jones. Tried to refeed Yakupov. The point there is Potter. Steers it to the corner. Cycling out here is Yakupov. The point for Potter. The right-handed defenseman floats one in. Wide of the net will be played here by Dorsett off the backboard. His clearing pass. Attempting to knock it down was Lechesky. Jones will carry back in. Dumps it wide of the net. And it's Eriksson once more. Eriksson. Long lead pass. Fails to click. Smead will find Belanger, who will drop it back for Petrie. Petrie. Circling away. On to Smead. Smead looking rink wide. Chipped into the zone. Oilers have their fourth line out there now. Brown cruising, jersey number 13, making his debut after being acquired yesterday from the Toronto Maple Leafs for a conditional fourth-round pick. If the Oilers make the playoffs, it goes to a third-round pick. Broussard, Golubov, drills it. That's deflected by Bull and White. Petrie high off the glass. Outlet pass here for Brown. Broussard defended. Broussard. Bull coming together there with Brown. Brown will head off. Bull now on the off wing. Hands it back to Tuch. Golubov. Long shot stick by Dubnyk and then quickly dished off. Flip for Eberle on the left wing. Jackets break it up. Tootin into the corner. Eberle hands to Bayarvi. Bayarvi to the point. Shot floated in there by Justin Schultz. Jackets block that. Foligno onto R.J. Umberger. Threw it across the line. Umberger looks for Foligno. Pad save made by Dubnyk. And the puck sails all the way back to Jackets territory. Foot race here, and it's won easily by Prout. He'll deal to Tootin. 8.5 minutes left.
Yes, button, I'll plus one.
You're in game 3.
On to Tootin. Away from Taylor Hall.
No item in
And it's
YouTube
R.J.
video.
Umberger.
No item in YouTube.
Prout.
Derek Bluejackets.
Nope.
Bluejackets.
On to Tootin.
Scores.
Away from
And it's
Taylor Hall.
4-1 for the
And
Oilers.
it's R.J. Umberger who got a stick on it as it sailed up out of the Edmonton bench.
The goal
8:22
is
left.
unassisted.
Pass.
Oilers, Derek McKenzie, he follows suit. And again, Petrie gets that puck from the point. And again, just shooting it. Nice little wrist shot. Looks like it changes direction to beat Mason 55 feet. Makes it a 1-0 game. And then Erickson, a beautiful pass to Bull. And what does Bull do? Right to the front of the net.
And it's 4-1.
Jackets block that. Made by Dubnyk. And the puck sails all the way back to Jackets territory. Foot race here, and it's won easily by Trout. He'll deal to Tootin. 8. Umberger got a stick on it as it sailed up out of the Edmonton bench. 8:22 left. Jackets, Derek McKenzie. 8:22
From
left.
Eberle to Petrie.
Jackets, Derek McKenzie. Ties it up.
And
8:22 left. Jackets, Derek McKenzie.
A 4-1 lead.
Tonight, Jeff Petrie started it off for the Edmonton Oilers. Derek McKenzie, he follows suit. But again, Petrie gets that puck from the point. And again, just shooting it. Nice little wrist shot. Looks like it changes direction to beat Mason 55 feet. Makes it a 1-0 game. And then Erickson, a beautiful pass to Bull. And what does Bull do? Right to the front of the net. McKenzie finds a stick on the ice. They tie it at 1.
90 volume.
Sends it ahead to Anisimov. Hall trying to get a stick on it. Potter unable to get to that puck. Jackets Anisimov. Comes in front of it, tripped up. Power play upcoming for the Jackets here. 2 power play goals on Sunday afternoon. Anisimov keeps the feet moving. Hall down.
No item.
And it is Whitney going off for tripping. And then number 6, power play for tripping.
Well, Mark Jeanette makes that call, and let's take a look at big number 42, utilizing his size, protecting the puck on that backhand, trying to get himself into position to be able to lead. Whitney takes the penalty, and the Jackets, the first power play of the night for the season.
As I mentioned, 2 power play goals, and their 2-1 victory over Colorado. They're tied for 27th in power play efficiency at 13.6%. Outside Jack Johnson, who backhands for Trevor Duke. R.J. Umberger sets the screen in front. Oilers are 6th best on the kill at 85.9%. Here's Tootin on to Jack Johnson. Jones gets a stick on it and backhands it to the length of the ice.
When you talk about their percentages, the other thing that they do very well, Jeff, they will pressure. They have 3 shorthanded goals, and we can remember one, the game winner in this building.
Bayarvi late in period number 3. They added the empty net goal for the 3-1 win despite the Jackets' dominance. Save for the goaltending, Devin Dubnyk. The Jackets remember it well, and they're looking to avenge that defeat.
No item in YouTube video player group.
Opening period, 117 in the penalty to Whitney.
Well, they get a chance to send out that second unit. Jack Johnson, he and Tootin were paired together on that number 1 unit. Now you get an opportunity having Mark Letestu to play on that right side. And Erickson on the left.
Crossbow, who leads the Jackets in power play goals.
He and Tootin were paired together on that number 1 unit. Now you get an opportunity having Mark Letestu to play on that right side. And Erickson on the left.
Crossbow, who leads the Jackets in power play goals with 3. Whereas James Wisniewski similarly has 3, but he is out with a broken bone in his foot and not expected to return until sometime in April. Erickson, Jackets unable to gain the zone. Backpedals to his own blue line. Less than a minute left in the power play. Head out from Erickson. Dances away. Deals to Prospel on the wing. To Ryan Johansson. Johansson from the far wall. Feathers it past. Prospel dealing.
to Erickson. Jackets showing patience here, moving that puck around on the perimeter. They've got to get it to the net. Johansson asks for it, gets it, throws it across the goal mouth, and it sails to the half wall. Foligno now on here for Lechestu. Again, Ryan Johansson camped in front. Prospel walks to the net. Johansson chopped it wide. Handed back to Lechestu. Less than 20 seconds left on the power play. Here's Erickson. On to Prospel. Again, Johansson wants it. Camped in front. Off the inside of the goal post. On to Prospel. Again. Scores! Camped in front. Off the inside of the goal post. Down is the net. Vinny Prospel. Hits another. Ryan Johansson.
No item in YouTube video player here.
Beautiful movement by the Blue Jackets. They started out high. Vinny Erickson, what a job that he is doing in quarterbacking this power play. You have Lechestu and Erickson on the point, but then watch the work of Prospel being able to get in. That puck goes off the post, and Prospel stays with it. The nose for the net, and that's the middle of it with a stick again down on the ice. And he finds Painter as the Jackets have taken a 2-1 lead, a power play goal.
His 9th goal of the season. His team-leading 4th power play goal. The Jackets don't give up on it. They show tremendous patience on the power play, moving the puck around effectively until they got that opportunity. And on the rebound, Prospel sweeps it home, and the Jackets have their first lead of the evening. Here's Dorsett. On to Broussard. Derek Broussard circles the net. Payarvi draped all over him, throws it in front off a skate. This is what Coach Todd Richards said this morning. Create traffic in front of the net. The Jackets have done it to a T and have a well-deserved lead. Prospel from Johansson and Lechestu, who continues a point-scoring streak. In front, Dorsett actually kicked it. And we get some pushing and shoving as the Oilers move up ice. It's a 3-on-2. Eberle on the right wing drops it for Payarvi. Meantime, we've got Petrie going with Matt Calvert. And Calvert showing that he can handle himself.
Well, Matt Calvert, he takes no guff from anybody. He stands tall. Petrie, a couple inches on him. But a nice job by the Jackets, being able to pull away 2-1.
Vinny Prospel, his team-leading 9th and 4th power play tally.
Jackets with the 1-goal lead in the first period. I am with Craig Hartsburg now. Coach, what do you think of the first period so far?
A pretty good start for us. Early I thought we maybe sat back too much, but now we're starting to put pressure on with the forechecks. We just got to continue.
Appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you.
That's forecheck. This is the third key in this game tonight, being able to get the puck behind the defense and go after it. Since that time, they've drawn a penalty, scored on a power play, scored an even strength goal.
Well, we're just getting word here right now. It's not been announced in the building, but 5-minute majors to Calvert and Petrie. Now, the caveat here is that Calvert also picks up a game misconduct. We don't see this too often anymore. Calvert's not the guy that's going to drop the gloves, but he has received a game misconduct for not having the jersey tied down. It's in the rule book. And the Jackets will play the balance of the evening without Matt Calvert as a result. Unfortunate. As Calvert just again showing that he's willing to do whatever it takes. Offside the call. Now watch the sweater here, the jersey of Matt Calvert.
You can see right away. As soon as that fight starts, that jersey is up and over. For people that don't know at home, if you look at an NHL jersey, it does have a strap to be able to tie it down and attach it to the pants. And in this situation, you can see one pull, it's off.
That would be, without question, his first 5-minute fighting major. And not something that you would expect to see from Matt Calvert, but he's not going to necessarily take it. And sticking up for himself there in the zone. It cost the Jackets his services for the balance of the night. Less than 5 minutes left. Race for the puck here. McKenzie doesn't give up on it. Collides with Bull. Meantime, Ryan Smith looks for Hensky. That pass was behind him. Sent into the zone. Eager. Unable to get a stick on it. Jackets move up ice. R.J. Umberger in the corner. Justin Schultz trying to defend. Thrown into that slot. Unable to get to it is Foligno. Out of his own goal, off backhands. Yakupov in pursuit. Oilers in Columbus territory before it's swept out, and it's Johansson with Umberger. Johansson, an arm around Johansson there from the Oiler, and Yakupov will go off for holding as a result. The Jackets are going to go back to the power play. They're 1-for-1.
Well, great positioning by Johansson. And again, when you're 6'4" and you're as big and as strong as Johansson is, right there you can see Yakupov just hovering around the 6-foot area. But again, Johansson does what he has to do, draws another penalty. Now you make him pay.
Jackets with their second power play. They had 3 shots on the first attempt. And of course, converting on the final shot as Vinny Crossbook. That's his 9th goal of the season. 4 of them on the power play. He'll start with Johansson and Foligno up front. Letestu and Eriksson are on the points. Eriksson knocked down, but Johansson there to cover up that loose puck. Hands to Letestu. Jackets into Edmonton territory. Letestu chips it off the wall, goes right back after it. Justin Schultz attempting to clear, but can't. Tim Eriksson. Handing to Crossbook. Back at the point, Eriksson. Shot blocked from the wing. Crossbook denied. Foligno moving into that near circle. Losing the puck before Potter is able to bank it off the boards and send it right in on Mason.
Well, Foligno had one thing in mind. He was looking to snap that puck between the legs of the defender and just roll off a stick.
The Oilers led in shots early on in this hockey game, but the Jackets dramatically have taken over. 11-6 are the shots here. A little more than 3 minutes remaining. Power play down to a minute. Oilers awfully dangerous on the penalty kill. They've scored 3 shorthanded goals. One of them costly to the Jackets by Tejarvi, first time in for Edmonton. There's Belanger. Drops it back. Long lead pass. Sails deep in the zone. Jones unable to get a stick on it. He'll head off to the bench before reinforcements come on. And it's Ryan Smith. Sam Gagne. Jackets gain the zone. Down to 30 seconds of the power play. Cam Atkinson settles the puck down. Rims it around the wall. Up high. Tooten. One-timer by Jack Johnson. Pad save. Dubnyk will cover up with a big mitt. And a rebound.
Well, fans, see the Blue Jackets take on the Vancouver Canucks Thursday, March the 7th, 7 o'clock game with a Tim Hortons Jackets pack. That includes a ticket, Blue Jackets hat, food and more, starting at just $30 a person. That is a $28 savings. Get your tickets now at BlueJackets.com.
23 seconds remaining in the Yakupov holding penalty. Ryan Smith chased from the circle.
No item in the YouTube video player group.
23 seconds remaining in the Yakupov holding penalty. Ryan Smith chased from the circle. Belanger will step in. Johansson wins the draw. Knocks it right in. Ryan Smith chased from the circle. Belanger will step in. Smith chased from the circle. Belanger will step in. Johansson wins the draw. 23 seconds remaining in the Yakupov holding. Knocks it right in. And then chipped up and out by the Oilers.
Well, great play there by Johnson. Again, left-handed shot, right side, pull it towards the middle of the ice. Quick shot. You'll hope it gets through.
Johansson pressures. Oilers sweep it out. 2 seconds. 1. And out comes Yakupov. Tooten away from Nugent-Hopkins. Back to Tooten from Jack Johnson. McKenzie dishes to the right wing for Dorsett, overskating the puck. Hemsky unable to get anywhere, tied up there by Tooten. Jackets 3 more shots on that power play. They're 1 for 2 with 6 shots. Nick Schultz away from his opposite number, Dorsett. Justin Schultz will shovel it backhand. The Jackets play it up high. There's a shot by O'Coin. Pad save Dubnyk. Out to challenge the shooter. Kicks it up with that right back. Less than 90 seconds left. Oilers come quickly. In transition, this is Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins sweeps it far side. In front, a shot and a goal. The Oilers have tied it up as it goes far side. In front, a shot. This is Nugent. Up with that right back. Less than 90 seconds left. Oilers come quickly. In transition, this is Nugent Hopkins. Less than 90 seconds left. Oilers come quickly. In transition, this is Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins sweeps it far side. In front, a shot. And a goal. The Oilers in front. As it goes 5-hole. And it is Ryan Whitney finishing in from that right circle, beating Mason.
Well, I talked with Ian Clark this morning about
that right.
And basically the volume of work has been increased and the quality has been there, but you can see the legs wide open. Whitney very quickly lets it go. The head is up. He sees what he's got, and that is one that Mason has to have. Whitney, he tied the game. Going to goal with less than 2 minutes to go in this period. It's certainly a key, but Mason, that has to be better. Moves in from that point position, and anytime you have the time like he does, the only thing he was trying to do was just hit the net. Found the back of the net. Mason giving up that 5-hole. He's going to have to regroup. Body language has to continue to be better. Hopefully this team in front is going to be able to hopefully make a
7, but the Oilers by Jordan Eberle. Eberle dishes to Whitney. Ryan Whitney, one-time Penguin on for speed, chipped off the glass out to center. Eberle in pursuit. Trout defending and is quick to chip it back into the Edmonton zone. Speed. Final seconds of his opening period. Sam Gagner waits for it at center, drills it in. Far side of the ice. Justin Schultz stepping up. Here's Brown, drops it back for Belanger. Belanger, a long shot, floated in. And it's deflected wide. Brown will sweep to the point. Nick Schultz now. That puck ricochets as the horn goes to end the opening period of play. And as I said, teams are tied 2-2. Jackets outshoot the Oilers 14-7. But after 20 minutes of play, the teams are even. Natalie will join us next. She'll have a guest. And we'll be right back here to Nationwide. Stay with us. Back here at Nationwide, getting set for second period play. Jeff River, Bill Davich rejoining you here, and we are waiting momentarily for head coach Todd Richards to join us prior to the second period faceoff. You talk about Steve Mason and the need to give the Jackets better goaltending.
Yeah, I mean, that period, you have 7 shots on goal, and he allows 2, and let's not kid ourselves. He was not sharp in period number 1. Got to slow himself down, and talking with Ian Clark this morning, he says the volume of work has increased, and also the quality of work has increased. Yesterday, they have a day off. Who's the guy in the rink yesterday with the guys that are injured? Was Steve Mason. So he's working hard. Now he's got to be able to put it to use and be able to win a hockey game.
On the flip side, the Jackets' power play continues to impress. They are patient, they're under control, and they get another power play goal tonight.
And take a look at the number of new members of that power play. You know, Letestu, he's seen some point action out there with Tim Erickson. You got a guy like Jack Johnson now back in line. That's great.
Todd Richards joining us downstairs. And Todd, what are your impressions of the opening period of play?
Well, I think we started a little slow, and I think that's the way that the game is going. I think both teams are sort of feeling each other out. Our execution wasn't good coming out of our zone, even all the way into their zone. Scored a couple goals, but we have to be more clean coming out of our end.
Todd, what do you say to a guy like Steve Mason that struggled in period number 1?
I don't say anything. He knows it. I'm sure he does. And he'll be better this next period.
And what are you looking for here in the second period, Todd?
More energy, more desperation in our game. I think we have another level out there, and that's what I want to get to.
Thanks for this.
All right, guys.
Todd Richard joining us downstairs. There's Vinny Prospel, who has the power play goal for the Jackets tonight. All but set for second period play. Teams have changed ends. A 2-2 tie. If you've joined us late, for the Jackets tonight. All but set for second period play. Teams have changed ends. A 2-2 tie. If you joined us late, Jackets getting goals and even strength from McKenzie and Prospel. Petrie and Whitney have scored for Edmonton.
I like his response. Don't say a thing to the goaltender. You got 60 minutes to play. You have him fight his way back on his terms. Right.
Sam Gagner will take the second period faceoff. And you know Mason wants to improve his performance here in period 2. He doesn't need anybody to tell him anything.
No, and that's the thing. With goaltenders, you have to know their psyche, who they are, what they are. Leave them alone, let them do their job.
Here's Feder Tootin. Chips it off the wall into Edmonton territory. Gagne deals it cross ice. Speed for Petrie. Jeff Petrie off a stick. It's Foligno on the turnover, backhanding it off into the corner. Speed is there ahead of R.J. Umberger. Jackets pressure along the wall, but it's Gagne down the right wing. Sam Gagne looking for some open space. Oh, and the Oilers take the lead. R.J. Umberger. Jackets pressure along the wall, but it's Gagne down the right wing ahead of R.J. Umberger. Jackets pressure along the wall to the corner. Speed is there ahead of R.J. Umberger. Jackets pressure along the wall, but it's Gagne down the right wing. Every week, Sergei Bobrovsky, who was awfully sharp, although faced right now.
The save,
draw the assist.
That save, that was not the
face up. Puck, Prout, onto Anisimov. How about Anisimov in that opening period? Outstanding in the face-off circle, far and away the best. The Jackets winning the majority of face-offs, and Anisimov won 8 of 11 drives. Taylor Hall drops it there for Hemsky. Hemsky trying to get away from Atkinson. Spins, turns, deals it back up high. Whitney on for Potter. Potter redirected in front. Bobrovsky gets a chance to field the puck there with a pad save. Jackets move it out of the zone, and away goes Anisimov. Onto the right wing. There's a quick shot. And the zone, and away goes Anisimov. Onto the right wing. There's a quick shot, and held by the goaltender Dubnyk.
Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, read how Dalton Trout got from Springfield to Chicago in just a few hours. Read all about the first Buckeye practice of the spring, and don't forget to follow today's game on Game Connect. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports, brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less.
Erickson throws.
Brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less.
Erickson throws.
In just a few hours, read all about the first Buckeye practice of the spring, and don't forget to follow today's game on Game Connect. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports, brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less.
Erickson throws it behind the net for Dorsett. Penny Prospel trying to chip it free. 3-2 Edmonton, despite being outshot. Penny Prospel trying to chip it free. 3-2 Edmonton, despite being outshot. 14-0.
Stanley Cup
Mason, for the record,
First
gives up 3 goals for the zone. Letescu unable to play it. We got Dorsett and Potter. Potter's not going to be a willing combatant. He just returned from a concussion and literally came off IR today to play in the game with Peckham coming up with the flu this afternoon. Petrie away from a hit from Dorsett. Neutral zone play. Prospel able to chip it out of the zone with the backhand, and it's onto the stick of Dorsett. Dorsett now dancing across the line, sends it in. Dubnyk steers to the wall. Approaching the 2.5-minute mark of the second period. Jackets win a battle on the boards. Here's Tootin, drills it, and fought off and sent to the corner by Dubnyk. Jackets up high again. It's Tootin. Tootin takes a high hit there from Brown. Thrown behind the net. Wraparound attempt by Bull. Jared Bull with another outstanding play. Backhanded by McKenzie as he's drilled along the wall there by Ryan Smith. Outlet pass. Fourth line against fourth line. Now both teams change up on the fly. Carried in by Johansson. That one blocked by Smead. Ben Eager avoiding a hit from Jared Bull. Brown again with a hard hit there on Tootin, and Tootin came up lame there on that right leg. Keep an eye on Tootin as he makes his way to the bench in some difficulty. Dubnyk unable to play. There's Gagne. Sam Gagne sets up the go-ahead goal by Pay-RV here in the early moments of period number 2. Excuse me. It's a 3-2 hockey game as it's dumped in. Moved by Trout off the wall. Here's Ryan Whitney deflected just wide of the net. Jordan Eberle on that side, unable to make the play. Umberger sweeps it out of the zone, takes a return feed here from Foligno. 3 Jackets across the line. Johansson, rebound sent wide by Foligno. He got to do it to buy a goal.
I'll tell you what, that is textbook. You come across on a 3-on-2, they utilize the ace center drive to the net, and then it's tick-tack, and just trying to finish off the toe was not there.
Foligno has a 3-game assist streak going with 4 assists. But he is looking to get back on the score sheet with yet another goal. Hard work. You'd like to see him paid off as Hemsky fires it right in on Bobrovsky. Right wing Anisimov sent to center. Taylor Hall knocking it down, but the Jackets play it. Crossbow looking there on the wing for Atkinson. Anisimov waits up high. Schultz deals ahead. Hemsky waits for it on the right wing. Alex Hemsky across the line. Drops it past there. Puck picked up. That's Nugent Hopkins looking to walk to the net. Taylor Hall stripped of the puck by Prosper. Nugent Hopkins, the 19-year-old. Hands it right back to Vinny Prosper. Potter stepping up. Taylor Hall out of the pack. Here's Nugent Hopkins, and that's deflected off the netting. No further rush by the 15-11 left.
Let's go back to that rush by the Columbus Blue Jackets through the neutral zone. And we talk about a 3-on-2. You have the center drive. Good play by Johansson. Nice pass by Umberger to set it up. But watch down in front of the net. It goes off of the goaltender. And then Foligno tries to knock it out of the air. The bouncing puck unable to be corralled. I agree with you, Jeff. Boy, if he
effort because the nose for the net. He's always in front, creating havoc. But missing by inches, and there's just another example. He's got a point streak going, but he'd like to find the back of the net himself. On the wing, Belanger, there is Bobrovsky. The stop and no further play.
Well, join the battle and be at Nationwide Arena on Thursday, March the 7th, when the Jackets take on the Vancouver Canucks 7 o'clock game. Then again on Saturday, March the 9th, they're going to host the Detroit Red Wings, a 2 o'clock affair. Get your tickets now at Bluejackets.com.
Along the left wing boards. There's McKenzie. On to Lechestu. Dorsett chips it off the boards, hustles right after it. Dorsett walks to the net. And a nice defensive play there by Yakupov to chop it away as Dorsett looks short side.
Well, this is what you want from number 15. He's had a great second period so far. He's been in on the check. He's trying to create some offense. Another good opportunity there.
Smeed. Bumped along the wall there by Foligno. Puck picked up by Erickson. We passed the 5-minute mark of this second period. Erickson handing to Brassard. Eric Brassard missing 2 games with an upper body injury. Quiet so far tonight. Jackets looking for a little more offense from Brassard. Backhanded. Here's Tootin off the point, and he roofs it over top of the net. Chipped out of the zone. Played here by Foligno. Bull trying to knock it down. Brassard does. His pass for Bull fails. Foligno back in his own end. Mike Foligno up the left wing. Failed to clear the zone. Ryan Smith, Nick Schultz, and he rifles it high over top of the net. Justin Schultz, no relation. What an impressive rookie season he is having with Edmonton. Jared Bull on that right wing. Across the line, avoids a hit from Ryan Smith, sweeps it behind the net, then heads off to the bench. Whitney, momentarily camped behind Dubnyk in the Edmonton net. Gagne dishes. Oilers, Whitney, head up, deals it on the wing, rifled in by Edmonton. Bobrovsky out of the net, sweeps to the near corner. Sam Gagne sends it to the slot for Eberle. Kick, save, and a beauty. Bobrovsky gets tied up with Jack Johnson, able to kick Johnson's stick free. In front, Johansson defending against Payarvi. Whitney keeps it in. Bobrovsky out of the net. He'll leave it there. Approaching the 8-minute mark. Johansson on to R.J. Umberger. Jackets in Edmonton territory. Umberger finishing a hit there on Smeed, but the Oilers come up with it. And a long left wing feed to the right side here for Hemsky. With Nugent Hopkins. Back for Hemsky. Camped in front, Taylor Hall. Hall recently returning from an injury. A hamstring. Making a regular shift here tonight on that left wing with Atkinson defending. Chops it ahead. Hall recovers and sweeps it back behind the net. Who's out to make the play? Bobrovsky with a quick feed here to Erickson. Hemsky trying to pinch it along the wall. Hemsky overskates the puck. Battle ensues. Hemsky reaching for it. Puck comes free. Hall and Jack Johnson fall to the ice. And Columbus able to clear. Jack Johnson having a word with the official, feeling that, Taylor Hall got an arm on him and was looking for him to be set off.
Very seldom do you see number 7 open his mouth at all.
Dorsett. Slow shot pass into the slot there for Prospel that fails. Left wing Yakupov. Last June's number 1 overall pick. Pulls up. Tootin right there defending. Jackets will clear it by sending it up and into the Edmonton zone. No icing here. 11 minutes, 27 seconds remain. Second period, 1 goal here. The go-ahead goal by Payarvi, 31 seconds in. Necessitating a goaltending change. And Bobrovsky has turned aside all 4 shots that he has faced. Dubnyk leaves it behind the net. Justin Schultz, Wisconsin star. Eager across the line for Ryan Smith. Fights off a pair of the Blue Jackets. Kept in by Brown up high. Tootin off the wall. Brown reaching for it. Can't make the play. Foligno able to clear it. Recovering there is Potter and dumps back in.
Well, right now the Oilers have got the ice tilted. The Jackets losing the one-on-one battles in their own zone. And you see the confidence of the Oilers beginning to grow as this game goes on. Key goal to be able to start period number 2. The Jackets have to find a little resolve.
Ryan Smith into Columbus territory. Goloubov quick to clear. Foligno and a foot race here with Whitney. Gets there first. Sweeps it behind that for Brassard. In front there for R.J. Umberger, and it's tipped away. Down the right wing at center. Payarvi sweeps ahead here for Gagne. Left wing Whitney, who again joins the rush. Whitney with a goal. Pinching in off the point to tie it up late in the second. Payarvi putting them in front. And they combine right there to attempt to get the Oilers up by 2. We passed the midway point of period number 2. High off the glass. Smeed is bumped. Petrie stripped of the puck by Prospel, and Dubnyk forced to make a big stop. Unable to keep it in at that right point. Hammered around the wall here by Eriksson. Prospel tosses into Edmonton territory. Smeed under control away there from Atkinson. Petrie on to Payarvi. Payarvi at center. Payarvi lifts it in the air. Eriksson on the hard around. Prospel at center. Drops it back here for Brassard. Right wing Atkinson drills it. And that's off the mark. In front, Jack Johnson. He shoots and scores. Welcome back, Jack.
Well, they get an opportunity by utilizing the entire depth of that offensive zone. That puck goes behind the goaltender, and that's again where Brassard sets up shop. But a nice play by Prospel. You get a little help from behind the net, and then watch Jack Johnson find the seam in the defensive zone, and then he beats Dubnyk high over top of the glove. Dubnyk down on all fours to be able to try to make it. Down onto the knees, and then over top of that glove side. Welcome back, Jack is right. They've tied the game at 3, and now they've got to continue to build.
Jack Johnson, coming back after missing 4 games, gets his second goal of the season. And once again, the Jackets have tied it up.
The fans chanting Chile in game 3.
Better too. Circles the net, pressured there by Nugent Hopkins. Waiting for it is Cam.
No eye.
Better too. Circles the net, pressured there by Nugent Hopkins. Waiting for it is Cam Atkinson. Looking for Goloubov. Prospel. Chipped off the wall by Anisimov and into Edmonton territory. Nick Schultz. Quick feed. And a dandy there by Nugent Hopkins to send it ahead for Hosty. And play Paul to the outside. 8:43 left. Jackets have reason to celebrate. Jack Johnson returning to has tied it up at 3.
No item.
There's Sam Gagne, but behind him is young Nugent Hopkins, 19 years of age. He's being criticized, not getting a lot of scoring right now. You take a look at those numbers, but he's always matched up against the opposition's top line. But here's a great story. He's 19. The Edmonton Oil Kings in the Western Junior Hockey League are dominated. They've got a chance to win a Memorial Cup. They've got 10 players older than Nugent Hopkins on that hockey club. How about that?
Well, people are too quick to criticize. Look at the age of these guys. Nugent Hopkins would be a freshman in college. Look what he's accomplished.
Outstanding talent. Number 1 overall pick out of the Red Deer Junior program.
Away from 20.
Owned by Brent Sutter. Made the club as an 18-year-old last year. But incredible to me, the Oil Kings have always been a dominant club in the Western Hockey League. They've got 10 players older than Nugent Hopkins on their team still playing junior.
No item in
He
view.
tells a story.
Yeah, and if he hadn't have been hurt last year, he would have walked away with that Calder Trophy.
Without question. Here's Prout. Sends it ahead, and Leicester steers to the corner.
Yeah, right now, second period, you've got that long change, and you have to be very careful right now near the end of the period. You're halfway through it. Quick line changes. Make sure you get the puck deep and stay fresh.
Bouncing puck. Ryan Smith moves in and sent it over top of the net. Smith. A healthy scratch this season. Out here on the 4th line. Back at center. Last time he played center was the Oilers' first time in here. Petrie gets it ahead to Eager. Jackets break that up. Smead sends it in. And Eager. No, absolutely. They're 1 for 2. The call. Are we going to get a penalty here?
Looks like a little bit of a late hit. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. You see Tim Erickson charge.
55-minor penalty for boarding.
Oh, absolutely. Charging, boarding, call it what you want.
No, Tim Erickson turned around to the official. It was going to be an icing call. He touched the puck. Whistle went. And Ben Eager come in and finish it off as check.
We will step aside. Jackets will get their 3rd power play of the hockey game. They're 1 for 2. There is the boarding call.
There's the boarding call.
Power play underway as it's swept down the ice by the Oilers. Tootin on here to an easy mob. Ryan Smith stepping up. Sweeps it behind the net. Collides there with Jack Johnson. An easy mob away from Gagne. Dumps it back behind. Jack Johnson waiting for it, but it'll be Tootin carrying it up ice. Feder Tootin. Left wing feed for R.J. Umberger. Less than a minute left on the power play. There's Belanger lifting it up and out, sending it between the 2 Jacket defensemen. Bobrovsky out of the net, and it's left there for Tootin. Less than 6 minutes remaining. Here in period number 2. 40 seconds of the power play. Left wing feed. Prospel can't get a stick on it. Dubnik thought about leaving the net, and thought again.
Second period.
Remain between the pipes. Foligno moves to the point. Chester, Foligno, Johansson, Prospel. Vinny Prospel moves. Oh, he tried to feed Johansson with a good stick effort there. The active stick of Jones. Now Prospel on the other side. Throws it in front. Foligno denied. And a rebound swept away by the Oilers again. Short-handed, Jones will just dump to the corner. 1 second left in the Ben Eager penalty for boarding. He steps back out. And the Oilers now 2 for 3 on the kill. Jackets registered 1 shot. 1 for 3 with 7 shots in their 3 power play attempts. The Oilers have not had the manpower advantage. Jackets have showed discipline. And for good reason. This Oilers power play, 6th best in the National Hockey League. 20 goals, and they're better than 20%. Foligno. Right wing, chips it behind the net. Johansson tried to get a stick on it. Petrie defending. That's Smead banking it off the wall. Gagne with the backhander, sending it the length of the ice. Jackets hustle back. It'll be icing. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any broadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of the broadcast without the express written consent of the Columbus Blue Jackets is expressly prohibited.
Well, the Jackets have almost doubled up the shots. It's a 3-3 hockey game, and right now, you've got time on the clock to be able to try to get a little bit more crowd reaction, get people involved. You're playing at home. Somehow, some way, you've got to have some excitement.
Up on that left wing, Payarvi sweeps it behind the net, Eager in pursuit. McKenzie unable to clear it. Gagne on the left wing. Now Prout stepping in front of Payarvi and hands the puck to Jack Johnson. Johnson walks to the line. Prout, left wing feed for Brassard across the line. Brassard throws it right side there for Dorsett. Dorsett trying to fish it free. Taylor Hall stepped into there by Brassard. Gets it free to McKenzie. You joined us late. Jackets playing much of this hockey game without Matt Calvert, who left 14 minutes into the first period, involved in a spirited bout with Petrie, but for obvious reasons didn't have the tie down on his jersey and was given a game misconduct as a result as the puck was squirts wide of the net. Jackets all around that Edmonton cage in front. Dorsett tries to get a stick on it. Down is the goaltender, Dubnyk. He'll cover up, and we will step aside.
Tie game at the end of the second period. I'm with Coach Keith Acton. And Coach, what do you like so far from your team's play?
Well, one of the strengths of Edmonton is your special teams, and tonight we've got one power play goal. We're winning that department. We haven't taken a penalty yet, so that's good. As far as 5-on-5 go, they play a really aggressive system. It's almost man-on-man in every zone. Their defense are really pinching on our wingers, and our wingers are key to get back to our defense in the mid-zone and our end and give themselves a bit of time and get it past the challenge of those pinching defensemen. And if we got people skating to the pucks, one missed assignment by them, and we'll have an odd manner, and we'll get some scoring chances.
You know, they like to be able to open it up. When you've got guys that can skate and they have the skill like they do, no reason why not. Defense involved as well.
Right wing feed. Foligno steers it ahead. Nick Schultz defending. Swept to the near corner. R.J. Elberger picks it up on the half wall, throws it back behind the net for Foligno. Right wing. That's Eberle. Sweeps it ahead. Taylor Hall back for Eberle. Puck chopped away by Goluboff. Settled down by Foligno. Down that left wing. Nick Foligno at center. Sweeps into the zone. Dubnyk out to play. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left. Second period. Teams have traded. Second period goals. It was 2-2 after one. Payarvi, 31 seconds in, put Edmonton in front. That chased Steve Mason. And then Jack Johnson, midway through the period, tied it up. And that's where we are. And we haven't had a shot on goal here for the last few minutes.
No, things are starting to really mellow out here in this period. That's why I say we had about 5 minutes left. That's where the Jackets needed to try to get the entire building involved somehow.
Jared Bull fights off the hit from Yakupov. Set to the Edmonton line. Yakupov now takes the pass from Whitney. Right wing. Belanger on for Yakupov. Puts the brakes on. Throws it into the slot. Bouncing puck played back to the point. Petrie. Long shot there. And that was blocked by Jared Bull.
It's game 3.
Deflecting it off the netting. No further play.
First round.
There's a look at Todd Richards on the left. Ralph Kruger on the right. Ralph Kruger not very happy with a loss in Minnesota the other night. Said we've got to keep a positive attitude. Tomorrow's going to be a new day. We have to approach it that way. And with Todd Richards, very happy with the team has been playing. But here tonight, 3 goals. Chased Steve Mason from the net. And now it was time for the team to be able to come back. The Jackets have scored here in the third period to tie it up. Payarvi had scored to Chase Mason. And now, this is where the Jackets have to tighten things up a little bit and keep the homeland safe.
In front, backhanded second effort, sent wide of the net. Bobrovsky looking
Brian
sharp.
Johansson.
Since coming on at the 31-second mark of this second period. Petrie hands to Gagne. Gagne with a left wing feed. Hemsky with Payarvi. Fires a shot high off the shoulder of Bobrovsky. We've heard the coaching staff talk in terms of looking for one of the 2 goaltenders to take charge and become the number 1 netminder for the hockey club. I don't think it will take very much right now for Sergei Bobrovsky to be that guy. For the most part, he has looked sharp when given the opportunity to step between the pipes. And again here in the second period, coming in full, give him all the credit in the world. Less than a minute to go.
And we give the coaching staff, they're giving Mason every opportunity, as well as Bobrovsky, to be able to garner that net. And right now, Good save, Bobrovsky. He comes in here and shuts him down for the rest of the way. I don't think there's much of a decision to be made on Thursday night.
Right wing feed. That's Broussard sending it ahead. Foligno in pursuit. Nick Schultz drilled along the wall. Justin Schultz up high. Tootin away from Brown. Belanger hitting Yakupov. Broussard for Jack Johnson. Tried to feed Foligno. Final seconds ticking off here. And
one goal by Jack Johnson.
And after 40 minutes of play, the Jackets are out shooting Edmonton 24 to 13. Edmonton Oilers is tied at 3. Jackets with 10 shots in the second period. Edmonton 7. Their two-period total 14. Back here in the arena, Jack Johnson scoring the last of the 6 goals that have been scored here over the 40 minutes of tonight's game, getting the Jackets even midway through the second period.
We go back to 5-4.
Petrie gets it ahead. Eberle trying to feed Gagne. Racing into the zone is Payarvi. Tootin to play it behind the net, away from Gagne. Ryan Johansson for the Jackets, looking for Foligno. Nick Foligno in pursuit as it's moved out of the zone. Right back into Edmonton territory. Speed will try again. Forecheck coming from Johansson. Petrie settles it down, throws it up the right wing. Eberle had a stick on it. Dalton Crouch for Columbus. Looks to the left wing for Atkinson. Backhanding a pass ahead, looking for an easy mark. Jackets exceptional in the face-off circle tonight, winning 62% of the drives.
How about Anisimov? Another solid period. Excellent game so far. See him in that area of 70%. You know he's doing a heck of a job.
Here's Atkinson steering it ahead. Oilers get it right back. Hemsky across the line. Fisherman on the wing. Shot from the wing, deflected wide of the net. Hemsky to the point. Wristed wide, off the side of the net. That's Taylor Hall. Hall deals it onto the right wing. Now goes back after it behind the net. Up along the wall. Hemsky finds Hall. It's chopped away from him and sent to length of the ice. There'll be no icing here as it was actually chopped off the stick of the Oilers player and right down the ice. 90 seconds plus gone here in the third period.
Third period. 5-3 Oilers lead.
Belanger gets it ahead. Off a stick. This is Eriksson. Eriksson, left wing for Prosper. Off the wall to center. Letestu carries in. Mark Letestu dumping it behind the net. Rimmed around. Prosper into the slot. Letestu turns, drills it, but just wide. Eriksson, high off the glass. Chopped out of the air by Prosper. Back into Edmonton territory. Ryan Whitney controlling the point. Carrying in. R.J. Umberger in on Whitney. Backhands it across the goal mouth. Goal attempted to get a stick on it. Jackets playing one forward down. 11 forwards with Matt Calvert getting a game misconduct for not having his jersey tied down. Wardrobe malfunction, you might call it. And our IGS Energy performer through 2 periods of play, Vinny Prospel. A goal and an assist, team leading 9th goal, 4th power play goal to lead the Jackets in that category. And how about this? Now 740. A goal and an assist, team leading 9th goal, 4th power play goal to lead the Jackets in that category. And how about this? Now 749 career points for Vinny Prospel. The next goal or assist lead the Jackets in that category. And how about this? Now 749 career points for Vinny Prospel. The next goal or assist, Prospel. A goal and an assist, team leading 9th goal, 4th power play goal to lead the Jackets in that category. And how about this? Now 749 career points for Vinny Prospel. The next goal or assist will be his 750th point.
Well, he has been a mainstay. I'll tell you, the last couple of protect off of the defense.
Overbuck throws it across to that left point. Jackets unable to keep it in. Tootin, whose shot was blocked by the Oilers, now pressured there by Brown. Mike Brown. Practiced with the Oilers yesterday after being acquired by Edmonton for a conditional 4th-round pick. And in the lineup tonight, Van Eager on that left wing. Eager. Pressures Tootin. He gets it to RJ on the rear. Turned over, and Eager rifles it wide. Jackets guilty of another turnover in their zone. They've got to stay away from those goals.
No, the puck management has to be better. It started poorly for this team. Now it's got to be better here in the last 20 minutes of play.
Here's Everly. Gets it up high. Justin Schultz. And play called. We're going to get a penalty here. And it will be the first power play for Edmonton.
We'll get the latest news and information on the Cincinnati Reds from Goodyear, Arizona, starting this Monday, March the 4th at 10 on the Reds Live Spring Training 2013. Jim Day, Jeff Picaro, and Chris Welsh bringing the latest from Reds camp as they get ready for the upcoming season. Reds Live Spring Training 2013 starting Monday at 10 on Fox Sports Ohio.
3:33, the time of the penalty to Prout for high sticking. Oilers come in tonight. 6th best in the National Hockey League. 20 power play goals, 21.5% on the power play. There is the Jackets have not allowed an opposition power play in 6 straight games. They've killed off 16 in a row. They're on the prowl looking for the go-ahead goal short-handed here. They hold the Oilers, whose power play goal, or shorthanded goal against Columbus the first time in by Payarvi put Edmonton up 2-1 late in period number 3, and then the empty net goal sealed it despite a 40-shot performance and a dominating performance by the Jackets. As Todd Richards said this morning, he liked everything but the final score from his hockey play. Payarvi is dropped, and he is slow to get up as the Jackets move up ice. Short-handed. Dorsett, Letestu, left wing. Dorsett looking for that tic-tac-toe play from Jack Johnson. It just failed to play.
I think that kind of surprised Dorsett. That puck game got back to him quickly. Jack Johnson, well, he probably could have shot, and Dorsett would have been around for the rebound, but that pass surprised him.
Out of the corner. Cam Atkinson throws it back to the point. Great penalty killing here by the Jackets. And you can just see the confidence this club has right now in killing out opposition power plays. Dubnyk. Picked up here by Nugent Hopkins. Approaching the 5-minute mark. A 3-3 tie here in the third. Dumped wide to this. Anisimov. And let Erickson play it. Taylor Hall can't get a stick on it. Anisimov heads up for the Jackets. 22 seconds left. RJ Upperger shorthanded. Pulls up Jackets with a pair of shorthanded goals. Real the Oilers one here. Ryan Smith under Taylor Hall. Final 11 seconds. Taylor Hall trying to walk around Erickson, who wasn't biting. Up high, this is Justin Schultz. And play call.
A power play goal with 3 seconds left on the penalty. And the Oilers get their first
penalty here.
Power play goal.
And it will be the first power play.
Columbus Bluejackets Edmonton Oilers match.
70 volume.
We'll get the latest news and information on the Cincinnati Reds from Goodyear, Arizona. Jim. Reds Live Spring Training 2013 starting Monday at 10 on Fox Sports Ohio.
3:33, the time of the penalty to Prout for 10 on Fox Sports Ohio. 3:33, the time of the penalty to Prout for high sticking. 3:33, the time of the penalty to Prout for high sticking. Oilers come in tonight. 3:33, the time of the penalty to Prout for high sticking. Oilers come in tonight. 6th best in the National Hockey League. 20 power play goals, 21.5 come in tonight. 6th best in the National Hockey League. Prout for high sticking. Oilers come in tonight. 6th best in the National for the penalty to Prout for high sticking. Oilers come in tonight. 6th best in the National.
6-3. Oilers lead.
2-1. Prout steps up, back at full strength. Jackets block it. Petrie up high.
Petrie with the assist.
Not allow. Jackets 1 for 3 with 7 shots. The Prosper goal, who continues on assist. Jackets 1 for 3 with 7 shots. The Prosper goal, his 4th power play goal of the season, assisted by Johansson and Letestu, who continues an assist streak now to 4 games. Letestu with 5 assists in the last 4 games. From the draw, Belanger hands to Jones. Right back to Belanger. Gets away from him. Oilers throw it back to the point. Shot by Petrie, blocked. Brown trying to shovel it towards the net. It's out of the zone, and Smeed will dump back in. Oilers clear the zone, and now hustle back as Prout hangs onto that puck before handing to Foligno. Nick Foligno, right wing feed, Letestu. Chop behind the net, comes right through for Vinny Prosper. Foligno handing to Goluboff, and it's turned aside by the stick save. Left wing into the slot here, Letestu. Mark Letestu for Prosper off the heel of the stick. Oilers able to block it and shovel it out to neutral ice. Stepping up here now is Goluboff. He'll dump it wide of the net. Petrie to the far side for Eberle. Approaching the 7-minute mark of this third period. Tripped up was Belanger. The Jackets are going to be penalized again here. Unaware of it is Dubnyk, who now realizes the official has his hand in the air. 6 skaters on for Edmonton. Back-to-back power plays. Gagne, Petrie, thrown behind the net. It's Broussard in pursuit. Ryan Smith hands to Smeed. Oh, that was dangerous. Had Smeed stepped another 2 feet in front, Broussard could have chopped it right into the net. It would have counted. Broussard could have chopped it right into the net. It would have counted. Broussard heads off. 3-3 the score. Power play upcoming for Edmonton. But take a look at this. When trailing after 2 periods, they're 4-3-2. Of course, we were tied, and they have yet to record a victory when tied. They're 0-6.
Talking to Bob Stauffer this morning, and I asked him about his team. He said, come third period, there's a little disconnect between the defense and the offense, and the ability to finish games off when they should. Something, again, that has to be corrected even with the Jackets. Get a chance, you've got to be able to finish it off, and good work here to draw a penalty.
Anisimov keeping the feet moving. Yakupov hauling them down. That'll nullify the power play. We'll see some 4-on-4 hockey with last June's #1 pick, Yakupov, headed off. Well, it is.
I talked to Artem this morning if he knew Nail Yakupov, and he said no. He says, I introduced myself to him today. We had a chance to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. He said he's a good player, but he says tonight I will dominate him. So he gets an opportunity right now to play 4-on-4 hockey. It's exactly what the Jackets would like to be able to have.
9 seconds off the clock on the Jackets penalty. Sorry for tripping. For most of the next 2 minutes, the teams will play 4-side. Nick Schultz backhands it in. Goluboff. Puck played there by Tootin. Ryan Johansson carries into the zone. How about Johansson? Coming into this third period, Johansson has won 17 of his last 25 faceoffs over the previous 2 games, including tonight.
It's 29. Yeah, that's something that, again, he's taken a lot of pride in. He's been working hard at it.
Eberle deals to the point. Shot by Smeed. Redirected by Bobrovsky. Smeed. Eberle stepped into there. Goluboff takes it from Tootin. Goluboff dancing away from Eberle. Gagne now pressuring. Eberle back for Smeed. Smeed along the wall. Looks for Gagne. It'll be played there by Goluboff. Less than 11.5 minutes left, third period. Regulation time. Jackets will have a power play for all of 9 seconds. Foligno overskates the puck at center. Nick Foligno handing the puck ahead to Jack Johnson. Johnson from a sharp angle sends it off the side of the net. Oilers try to steer it out of the zone. That was Petrie. Umberger defending. Foligno now dancing away. Foligno gets it back to Prout. Ricochets wide of the net. The screen was set in front of Dubnyk. He never saw it.
Shot by Prout. A little mustard on it. Nice heavy shot.
Nugent Hopkins drops it back. Whitney shot off the pad of Bobrovsky. Approaching the midway point of this third period. Broussard now standing and steps out. Jackets power play. A brief one here. Broussard into the zone. Sends it right in on Dubnyk. Out steps Yakupov. And they find Yakupov at center. Jackets defend. Eriksson and Jack Johnson. There's Dorsett, left wing feed. Derek Broussard. A coin now, matting that right point with Eriksson. Again, the Jackets throw it across the goal mouth. Picked up there by Nick Schultz on to Belanger with Jones. Chipped in off the wall. Behind the net. Bobrovsky. Oilers change up. 9:56 left. Letestu to Eriksson, who joins a rush. Long shot gloved by Dubnyk, and he will hold on. 9:50 left. 3-3 to score. We'll be right back. 3 with 9:50 left. How about the Big Lots big play?
Well, it comes from number 22. 13:45 of period number 1 power play. And who's around the net? It is Vinny Prospal from Johansson to Letestu. Prospal his ninth. There isn't a guy in the National Hockey League that likes to score any more than number 22.
Prospal also with an assist tonight. 1 point from 750. And as long as an illustrious career. Talking to Vinny this morning, very early this morning here in the bowels of the arena. I said, Vinny, the way you're going, you can play several more years. Just kind of cracked a smile and said, we'll see.
Yeah, he's not going to show his hand. He wants to play this game as long as he can. There's no question about it. Loves the city. And right now, he's having some fun. I'd like to be able to see more wins, though.
Here, buried in and across the line. That's Belanger right in on Bobrovsky. That puck melt up in the equipment. No further play. 9:22 left.
You know, Eric Belanger, one-time LA King. And I had a chance to work with Eric Belanger back in 1996. The Duclair developed
the equipment. No further play. 9:22 left.
You know, Eric Belanger, one-time LA King. And I had a chance to work with Eric Belanger back in 1996. The Duclair development for the Florida Panthers, and Eric was an 18-year-old up in Thunder Bay. The Duclair development for the Florida Panthers, and Eric was an 18-year-old up in Thunder Bay. He has one thing going for him. He has hockey sense, and he's another one of those guys that loves to play the game.
Who else but Ryan Johansson? It was offside and fired back in. We'll have a draw outside the zone. Here now is tonight's AT&T fast breakout.
But how about this goal in the second period? It is the game-tying goal. Nice play by Johnson to be able to find the seam in that defensive zone. And the pass by Derek Broussard right on the stick, high up over top of that glove. Cam Atkinson looking around just in case there was a rebound, but it was all Jack Johnson. Here's another guy. Just loves to play the game. Always a smile on his face. He hates to sit. As we know, one night, close to 35 minutes. And he said he could have played another 5.
34:59. He was upset he didn't get to that 35-minute mark. Johansson wins the draw, but it's steered back to the point. Gagne reaching for it. Can't make the play. Far side PRV. Crouch just shovels it ahead. R.J. Umberger along the wall. Can't hang on. Gagne throws it behind the net. Johansson sweeps to Prout. Umberger, right wing feed. Foligno, 3-on-2. Foligno looks to Umberger. Left wing. Oh, nice pad save there by Dubnyk, who was kind of handcuffed on that shot. That one kind of surprised him. Meantime, Oilers into the offensive zone. Good transition. Gagne the shot. Down is Bobrovsky. And he'll cover up and hang on.
You got to give Dubnyk a lot of credit at the other end. Bobrovsky being able to make the save. And tell you what, when the Jackets come across that line, they had a little bit of speed. They had some separation. And they had a chance to be able to make that cross-ice pass. And I think as Dubnyk moved across, I think he lost a little bit of his balance, started to lean forward. But a good save by Dubnyk to be able to keep it a 3-3 game.
8:34 left. Third period, regulation time. 2-2 after 1. Team left. Third period, regulation time. 2-2 after 1. Teams trade goals in the second. 3-3. Less than 8.5 minutes left.
the third period. And it's 6-3.
Right
Playoff
carried into the zone.
Here in Columbus.
Pulls up, goal line. Taylor Hall. Ripped it. Hemsky gets it back, throws it behind the net. Nugent Hopkins away from Erickson for Taylor Hall. Defending is Dorsett. Hemsky walks out of the corner, looks up high. Shot there by Justin Schultz, sent wide. Taylor Hall. Oilers with the pressure on. Crossbow to steal. Off the glass, but not out. One Schultz to the other. Right in.
Right in.
By
Bobrovsky. The seventh goal.
Fans Saturday, March the 16th is Hockey and Heels night with the Blue Jackets. Enjoy a ladies' night out. Discuss the game with James Wisniewski, Coach Dan Hinote, NHL officials, and others. Package includes a game ticket, hors d'oeuvres and drinks, a commemorative wine glass, and more for just $60. Get your tickets now at bluejackets.com/hockey and heels.
Big face-off here. An easy mile for the Jackets. Belanger wins it cleanly. One of the strengths of Belanger. And he cleanly wins the draw away from an easy mob. The Jackets have owned the face-off circle tonight. Here's an easy mob. Away from Jones. Hands it to Fedorchuk. Less than 7.5 left. Outlet pass for an easy mob. Bump there by Smee. The puck sails the length of the ice. And Dubnyk will set it up for Petrie. Jeff Petrie. Camp behind the net. Ian Smee are on the line. Up front, Belanger. Jones. And waiting way up high was Yakupov. And it's Yakupov now looking for Belanger. Knocked out of the air. Belanger sweeps it behind the net. Bobrovsky out to set it up. And hands a backhand here to Golubov. Headman there to Atkinson. Pass cut off there by Ryan Smith. Good anticipation, but the Jackets will send it back up and out and actually right onto the Columbus bench.
Okay, Atkinson took a chance making that pass through the neutral zone as they started to move up ice. There was a line change by Edmonton, and Ryan Smith almost went to the races back the other way. Talking with Cam Atkinson after that game the other night, he took a high stick in the facial area. No call was made. You can see right across the bridge of the nose. A high stick, nothing but blood, but he's no worse to wear. Out here tonight, being involved in this game.
Dan Eager out there with Brown, who slips and falls. Eager along the wall. Ryan Smith or Brown, who chipped it wide of the net. Send it back up. And he will cover it.
Excellent read by Coach Cam Talbot. Jumped on that play, and Talbot had to respond to a play that was throwing some Schultz back to his knee partner behind the net. That's a goaltender who's aware. That's a goaltender who's focused.
Walker leads the team in assists and points. He is currently coming into this game on a 4-game point streak. 23.4 and less to go in the period.
Being involved in this game.
Dan Eager
To the nose.
No item in use.
Hendricks against Dauphin. Dauphin wins the draw. Back to Grossman. Down to Stone.
Ryan Smith.
No item
Brown,
in
who
use.
chipped it wide of the net.
No item in use. Slider at 1 hour 22 minutes 31 seconds. 1 hour 46 minutes 50 seconds.
That's sent wide of the net there by off the stick of Potter. Ryan Smith wins the battle. Potter hands it here to Whitney. Whitney floats one in and it's deflected wide off Jack Johnson. Derek McKenzie out there with R.J. Umberger and Bull. Bull the right wing in front. Oh, look at Dubnyk down, covering up on the Umberger shot from the left wing.
How about that pass by Bull? You take a look at that going wide as a right-handed shot coming down that right wing. Watch the pass that he makes and how much speed it has on it. And Umberger does a nice job to corral it. And in the meantime, he lets it go. McKenzie, he's going to the net in case there's a rebound. McKenzie better stick around in front of the net.
Well, we talked about Jared Bull's hands for a different purpose, but I tell you what, he's got some soft hands, and we've seen evidence of it throughout tonight's hockey game.
He's playing some pretty solid hockey.
Look at Dubnyk down, covering up
No
on the
item in
Umberger
use.
shot from the left point.
And out that pass by Bull. We go to
No item in use.
And it's always even Steven. Not here, Gino. Well, Kevin and Drew, the Safeway's featured participating product for today's game is Heinz Bean Jerky. Oh, my favorite. And Austin. Benoit Pouliot lines up against Lorenzo Fett.
Going wide as is a right-handed off point. How about that pass by Cole? You take a look at
Cole, the right wing in front. Oh, look at Dubnyk down, covering up on the upper shot from the left point.
How about that pass by Cole? You take a look at that going wide as a right-handed shot coming down that right wing. Watch the pass that he makes and how much speed it has on it. And Umberger does a nice job to corral it. And in the meantime, he lets it go. McKenzie, he's going to the net in case there's a rebound. McKenzie better stick around in front of that.
Well, you talked about Jared Bull's hands for a different purpose, but I tell you what, he's got some soft hands, and we've seen evidence of it throughout tonight's hockey game. He's playing Vinny Prosper, looking for Letestu. Gagne sends it ahead. Jackets chop it into the zone. That's Dorsett. Gagne flips to the corner. Dorsett steps up. Letestu in the corner. Away from Schultz. Prosper off the side of the net. Throws it in front again, hugging the near post. And getting the pad on the puck is Dubnyk, as Prosper has been all around the net tonight. He can't believe it. Thought he had it short side. Vinny Prosper and the Jackets dead even.
In game 3 of the Stanley Cup first round.
See that last goal by Jack Johnson. Ties it at 3. There you can see that last goal by Jack Johnson. Ties it at 3. Time on the clock. Jackets have had a pretty solid third period of hockey so far.
5:39 left. Johansson wins yet another draw. Here, Goluboff throws it behind the net.
In the third period.
Nick Schultz.
6-3. Oilers.
Hemsky on that far side. Hemsky, the second effort up high, but not out to R.J. Umberger. Johansson and Foligno along with him. Umberger wins the battle along the board. Wrap around attempt. Sails off the stick there of Dubnyk. Up high, Goluboff at center. Sends Johansson in. Ryan Johansson. Stick to side, Dubnyk. Bouncing puck. Justin Schultz. Right wing for Hemsky. R.J. Umberger unable to keep it in up high. Tootin has it. He'll throw it ahead. Edmonton change up on the fly. Taylor Hall steps in front of the pass intended for Nick Foligno.
Right now the Jackets have to finish their shifts. A couple of turnovers here in the last minute. They've got to continue to work for the 30 seconds they're on the ice.
Dalton Prout hustling back. Goluboff. Off the wall, out to center. Bayarvi drops it back for Petrie. Less than 4.5 left. Jack Johnson dumps to the open corner. Dubnyk out, and he'll tee it up. Petrie, head up, dishes here to Smeed. Racing down the left side to center. Ladislav Smeed sweeps it deep in the zone. Eberle in pursuit. Bumped there by Letestu. Gagne sends it off the side of the net. Jack Johnson chips it to the wall. Here's Dorsett. Flipping a backhand. Gagne knocked off the puck by Prout. Eberle. Tell you what, the Jack Johnson and Prout there, the Oilers giving up some size in that corner. And the Jackets come up with a puck, and it's Vinny Prosper. Flips it high in the air, looking for Letestu. Speed on the back end. Jackets are changed up on the fly. Gagne carries in. Gagne tripped up.
There's a dive if there's any.
Here is Anisimov. For Columbus. Less than 4 left in regulation. Anisimov weaving. Anisimov. A backhand shot redirected by Whitney and wide. Anisimov up high. Keeps it in. Hands it there to Eriksson. Shot blocked by Bayarvi. Right point. That's a coin throwing it behind the net. Cam Atkinson along the wall. Derek Brassard looking for Anisimov. Artem Anisimov. Goals in each of the last 2 games, looking to continue that goal-scoring streak. Meantime, puck carried into the zone. Drop pass there for Belanger. Center, moved by Brassard, up high. Shot by Justin Schultz, down is Bobrovsky, and he will... Brassard, up high.
No item in the
Shot by Justin Schultz, down is Bobrovsky, and he will cover up.
And score.
No further play.
3:30.
No item in the
Let's go in the third period. Magnus Bayarvi.
Well, the story tonight is
the first playoff goal, and it's 7-3.
Well, the story tonight is of 2 goaltenders. Steve, 1 second mark of the second period. 15 stops. was pulled at the 31-second mark of the second period. 7 saves and 16 stops of 24 for Sergei Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky has been aggressive. He's looking big in the net, minimizing his motions, and right now he's being able to control the rebounds, a real key against this Edmonton Oilers hockey team.
He has not given up a goal. He has stopped 17 of the 24 shots that the Oilers have sent towards the net. Johansson drops it back for 2. Jack Johnson. Tutin up the left wing, redirected the rest of the way by Foligno. Oilers send it off the boards. Deep now in Jackets territory and icing.
Well, after every Blue Jackets game, Fox Sports Ohio breaks down the game, talks to the players and the coaches on Blue Jackets Live, presented by IGS Energy. IGS Energy, take control of your natural gas and electricity costs and enroll today at IGSenergy.com.
Face off to Dubnik's right, won by Face off to Dubnik's right, won by Nugent Hopkins.
Jackets Live, presented by IGS. Breaks down the game, talks to
deep now in Jackets territory and icing.
Well, after every Blue Jackets game, Fox Sports Ohio breaks down the game, talks to the players and the coaches on Blue Jackets Live, presented by IGS Energy. IGS Energy, take control of your natural gas and electricity costs and enroll today at IGSenergy.com.
Face off to Dubnik's right, won by
your natural gas and electricity costs and enroll today at IGSenergy.com.
Face off to Dubnik's right. Nick Schultz. Backhands ahead looking for Taylor Hall. Jackets break it up. Dorsett now races into the zone. Letestu to the net. Dorsett trying to pull the trigger. Shot is blocked. Letestu now cycles up. Letestu for Dorsett. Dorsett chips it behind the net. Looking to walk out. Throws it out to Eriksson. Vinny Prosper. Tied up by Ladislav Smid. Letestu there to help out. Smid defending. The battle continues. The puck comes free, and it's Dorsett stepping up. Here's Letestu, walks in, and the puck just rolled off his stick. He tried to go back there to forehand. Puck rolled off his stick and it swept down the ice, and it's Eriksson stepping away from Payarvi. Eberle walks in front. Good effort there by the youngster. And the Jackets equal to the task. Dorsett settles it down. Nick Foligno, left wing, and across the line. Petrie defending. As Foligno falls, he's able to get back out, protect that puck, tried to feed Johansson, and the Oilers are content at this point just to send it down. Picked up Jones, and the shot was blocked and alertly so there by Jack Johnson. Jones racing down that right side, Jack Johnson defending, and now Johansson the other way. Less than a minute to go in regulation. 3-3 to score.
7-3. Oilers lead.
Johansson, Alberger denied. Dubnik, the stop. Foligno now. Looking for Johansson. Bouncing puck in front. Alberger. Defending is Potter. Potter comes up with it. Outlet pass for Ryan Smith. Final minute of play. Smith over. Shoots the puck. There's Jones. He'll fire. Save Bobrovsky. Foligno. On ahead here in the center. Backhanded by Jack Johnson and wide of the net. 10 seconds to go. Justin Schultz on the harder end. Looking. A lot of trap. Oliver skates it. A corner with a shot that's blocked. Chipped off the glass.
1-2 in a row. And the Edmonton Oilers have leading the series 2 games to 1. And the final score,
and play call.
7-3 Oilers. And Devin Dubnik gets his second playoff victory in the postseason.
Atkinson on that left side. Dubnik backing up. Atkinson sees it. Poke check away. Dubnik able to steer the puck away and the Jackets winger.
Now, you can see this go off of his stick as he started to make the move. He wanted to pull it to the forehand, and then he usually comes back to that backhand and lost control of that puck.
Hemsky now.
Hemsky was one inserted into this lineup with the
Shoots, scores!
Backhand to forehand, high forward.
No item in DUC video player group.
Devin Dubnyk.
No item
In regulation and overtime, and 2 attempts in the shootout.
7
If there
goal
was a
scorers.
number 1 goaltender to be determined at this point of the season, the
The
Jackets
Oilers.
have
The
Oilers,
Oilers.
based on his performance here,
Victory.
of late, and tonight's
Columbus.
game in
Game
particular.
3. Final score.
3.
7-3.
The final. Jackets, for the first time this season, win
Oilers
back-to-back games.
Game 3.